I got a problem. I got a strange addiction. Somebody help me. I need an intervention. It ain't alcohol or weed. There's just one thing that I need. I got an addiction to fruit trees. Got an addiction to fruit trees. I take a persimmon to breathe. Hey, the next one I'm getting jujube. Got an addiction to fruit trees.
Peace, family. Just wanted to talk to you real quick. I know, and I apologize, I'm just getting off of work not too long ago, but I'm tired. I got cotton mouth too. But I've been going nuts, over the past few videos about these fig trees. We winter protected them. We did the wrap method, and we also, for most of them, we actually buried them. And I've been unveiling them. I haven't unveiled all of them, but I've unveiled probably a little less than half of them. And so far, all of them have survived. We'll check the progress throughout the season. It's still early. We still have chances of frost, yada, yada, blah, blah, blah. But the important part of that is that they made it through the winter. They made it through the coldest part of the year. The reason that I've been going so crazy about it is because I feel like that's important. And I'm saying that that's important because, so fig trees originally come from Mediterranean regions, where it's hot. They get a certain amount of rain during a certain period of time, but for the most part, it's hot. Just the conditions are totally different than what we have in most of the areas here in the States. Here we have what's called a temperate region. Where the temperatures go up and down, the rain is, all over the place. We get a lot of precipitation that they don't get in Mediterranean regions. So it's not really a climate that fig trees are, I'm gonna say, made to thrive in. But the reason I say that it's important is because we can still do it, and we can do it successfully. You know what I mean? And I don't want people to think that we can't. So for me, it can be overwhelming thinking about winter protecting trees, winter protecting, any tree that needs winter protecting, especially a tree that's really not originally from this climate. You know what I mean? You feel like you're taking a risk growing these trees because they don't really grow here like that. And then on top of all of that, you got to figure out a way to winter protect it successfully. I've seen a lot of videos where it just, and I don't want to speak too soon because, this is my first time winter protecting, and I use two simple methods, and they both have appeared to work. But I've seen videos where they make it really complicated. I'm not going to get into details about the complicated aspects of what I've seen because I don't want to make anybody think that, what they may have seen, or anybody that may be watching this video, that has a channel bigger than mine that does have one of those complicated methods. I don't want you to think that I'm like taking shots at you or whatever, but it makes it overwhelming. You know what I mean? When you see these complicated videos like, do this and heat it up this way and light it up that way and all this other stuff, it just makes it seem overwhelming. I know even after I got some of my fig trees, just looking into winter protection, I was like, dang, I think I made a mistake getting these things. So for me, the point of this was to just get it to survive through the cold months. You know what I mean? I wanted to see if those methods worked, if it would get it, because we had some icy precipitation. We had a lot of frost. We didn't have like real impactful snow, but with the amount of precipitation that we had, I'm sure that it would have made it through that, just, based on what we did have. So it was a victory, regardless of how they perform from here on, it was a victory just getting it through that time. Like I said, we still have a chance of frost to come. Unexpectedly, we're supposed to get possibly some snow this weekend. I mean, it's possible that could affect them. And I probably should have waited to unveil them, but those methods work, is what I'm getting at. So what I'm saying is this, you can grow figs and you can grow as many as you want. And winter protecting them does not have to be complicated. Like, y'all know me, like I'm always busy. You know what I mean? My job, especially my job now, it keeps me going, like from 2 o'clock in the morning until, sometimes late. You know what I mean? I don't have time to be babying stuff. But the methods that were used were very simple. So if you have thought about growing figs, I'm in zone 7A. You know what I mean? I'm not even in zone 8 or 9. I'm not even in zone 7B. It gets cold here. But those methods worked, and they were simple methods. They weren't overcomplicated. They weren't over bulky. It was just simple. One method, I used, if you haven't seen the videos, I used landscape fabric to wrap up one of the fig trees. And then on top of that, I wrapped it up in a contractor's plastic bag and then tied it with twine. And that held it through the winter. The other methods were I just took mulch and basically buried them, in maybe about 7 or 8 inches of mulch. These are not methods I made up. Let me say that as well. I like to give credit where credit is due. The first place I heard these, as far as the burying method, was Russ Ratty's channel. Shout out to him. And then there's a channel, it's called Garden a Bit Different. It's by a lady, I don't know what her name is, but she's out in Poland, where it gets cold and snowy, and she uses the burial method as well. So I figured if it works for them, it should work for me, and it did. So if you're in a colder zone, you can absolutely grow figs. You can winter protect them easily. I'm telling you, don't get overwhelmed by some of the things that you see, or, just by thinking, man, winter protection, that seems like it's going to be a complicated thing. Just do it, man. Just do it. If you want to see how, I winter protected them, you can look back in my videos. I'll try to leave a link in the description just to kind of make it easier. But yeah, that's why I feel like it's important, and that's why I'm making a big deal out of this stuff, because it works. It works, and it'll work for you. If it worked for me, it'll work for you. Seriously. All right, y'all. Peace.